Hello, SimTheWorld here, picking up with some Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Thanks for joining us today as we get back to the orders and the repairs. Hey everybody, this is post-production SimTheWorld. Just wanted to let you know a few things. First off, we moved the garage away from the train track, so hopefully it should sound a lot better. We're also going to try going without the music. You guys can pick your own music to listen to in the background, and you don't need my own crappy taste in music playing. So, if you like that, let me know down in the comments. If you'd rather background music, let me know that too. Alright, let's get back to the video. So, let us take our next order. We have a request. Hello, I bought a brand new Olson Grand Club. It's a great car. In the ad it said that the car is great for off-roading, but I have an impression that driving an SUV on the sand dunes was not a good idea. Something is scraping, and I noticed a leak. Please do something about it. I need the car for an off-roading trip with my friends this weekend. Alright, it looks like we have our first job order. And this car looks far from in good condition. Looks like he drove that straight into a sand dune. Let's get it up on the lifter and see what we need to take care of. So already I can kind of see that muffler looks pretty bad in the back. Probably gonna have to replace that. Check out the car status. We have a lot of parts to find. Oh, wow. Let's actually go ahead and take it to the test path. No oil. So we have no oil in the car, which means he's probably knocked something off the engine. And in fact, we can see there is no oil pan. I also have an idea that the suspension's completely rusted out. I think we got some work ahead of us, so let's dive right in. I want to start in the engine bay. So already I can see we need a new radiator fan housing and we need a new radiator. Let's go ahead and pop those in. Just like last video, we're going to kind of take this step at a time. That way we get everything taken care of and fixed as we go along. Hopefully there's no engine issues because of the lack of oil. They must have had this towed in. But really, the engine looks like it's in good condition, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think it's time we lift the car up, and we're going to have to replace some of these body parts too. Yeah, let's get it up, get the tires off. We know we're going to have to replace the rims. Those look really bad. And a lot of the suspension in the front end is going to have to be replaced. So with that, we should be ready to go. Let's take those tires off and get those taken care of. See what kind of rim we need. We need a modern rim 06 and a 20-inch rim. Let's take those off. I'll jump over to the tablet. Want modern 06. We want 2 of those at 20 inches. And we'll separate the other tire. This is where it'd be really handy if we had a second tool, or we could buy another couple of these tire separators. So while the one's going, we can be installing the next one. Kind of make this a little simpler. I'm also going to, while this works, I could already see from the car we're going to need some suspension parts. So it looked like we needed a double wishbone shock absorber. I have to replace both of those. We need 2 caps. And we need a couple springs. I do that now because we need to press those springs in. So while the tire is balancing, we can let that do its thing. Tire's in there. We'll install this tire. And we'll install our next spring. That way we're ready for the repair when it's time. Try to make this as quick as possible. Some of these tools take a little bit just to get going. Similarly, got the balancer. This will take a few minutes. Read a book, sing a song, just anything to pass the time. Alright. Now we can jump back over. We need... Yeah, see, this whole double wishbone shock absorber is all completely rusted. So we know that's got to go. And for this job, I'm not going to mess around with any of the bushings. Just everything can go. We're going to replace all of those. The bushings, what, like $9 in this game? Not a big deal. Oh, those are fine. Those are in good condition. You check out this one. Okay, maybe we will put those back in. They're all at 88%. Yeah, we need to jump over to the other side and let's get parts off of here. Because we'll replace that cross member and put those bushings back in before they get too muddy. Oh, the bushings in that were fine too. Actually, yeah, I think we can just go ahead and give them back their old bushings. That'll save us some time and money, but again, if your mechanic wants to reuse bushings, find a different mechanic. That would take so much extra time that it's not even worth it. I don't even know how you'd press them out and keep them all right. Alright, I believe we needed 2 of these. And we need a new steer. Okay, so we're going to have to take off the outer and inner tie rods too. Really just have to take this whole front suspension apart. We need a front drive axle D. We will get to after we get this apart here. Wheel hub bearings good. At least the brakes are fine. We can reuse these. I mean, besides all the damage they did, this car is in really good shape. Front steering knuckle C. Let's grab a couple of these parts. We need 2 of these. We just need a steering rack. We needed that front drive shaft. We gotta check. I'm not going to. We need the front drive axle D. Let's go ahead and sort this by arrival. We need a front axle knuckle cover. And the front drive shaft. It was okay. It was the drive axle we need to replace. Drive axle. We need front drive axle D. And we need the knuckle cover. We need 2 of those. We're still going to need the, yeah, let's jump over to the other side, get this taken apart. That was the front drive axle A, so let's get 2 of those too. Okay, and I think that's everything we need for the front end. We'll certainly find out if it's not. Okay, and that is it. So let us... No, we don't need our tablet. We need to go... Let's start mounting the parts. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and... Got all these 88% bushings. It'd be a waste to let those go. See, this is where it'd be nice if these parts stacked a little bit, because I don't need to see all of those 100%. It'd be nice just to have those in a stack where it says I've got like 8 of those, so I don't need to worry. Instead, I gotta kind of click over and pick the right ones. These are just little nitpicky gripes. They certainly don't take away from the game at all. That back in. Let's get the drive knuckle. Bottom. Oh, we got the wrong... We got the lower. We needed the bottom. That was a mistake. It's alright, those... I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other jobs where those will get used. That's why the part warehouse is nice, because eventually all these parts will get used. And especially when we start rebuilding cars. Can't wait till we unlock the full garage where we can repair the frame and we can paint them. That's when we'll really start going to the junkyard and picking up the beat up junky cars. And we'll start rebuilding from scratch. Alright, so we can put our new double wishbone in. You can take these apart to salvage. Sometimes, like, the spring will be alright in some of these repairs. But I find it's just quicker and easier just to buy all new parts. And in this case, we needed to. Tie rods were good. Sway bar. Yep, both sway bar and links were fine. Yeah, these newer cars, it's much easier to identify the issues because everything's nice and new looking, but you know the broken parts because they're rusted. It's the jobs where you have the older cars that's a bit more difficult to tell. So everything's kind of rusted up. Alright, and we can put the front drive axle in. Alrighty, we're ready for the tire. Perfect. Before we forget, we need to put this oil pan on. I can spell oil pan today. Seems to be difficult, and we need a V8. All the way at the bottom. Yeah, everything else inside the engine, since he gave us a good view, it looked fine. I didn't see anything rusted out. So, hopefully it's all just suspension work here. That'll make this quick and easy. We did have that massive part list, but it seemed like most of these are limited to the front. I know we got that exhaust pipe, and it looks like we got to replace a rear suspension arm and shock absorber back there. Looks like they were bouncing this car all over the place. Probably be back after his next trip. Or she. I didn't take a good look at the customer. I was just reading the description, give us a better idea of what we needed to do today. Does it give us the name? Well, it doesn't tell us anything about the customer. Yeah, we don't know if it's a he or she. It's probably a he. He probably... Well, you can't say that nowadays. Anyone. Off-roading's fun for anybody. And almost done here. We can't forget we gotta replace some of those body parts. Since we don't have the paint shop yet, there's nothing we can do with painting them the right color. In later jobs, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Make sure we paint everything to match. Alright. So that should be the front end. Let us... Oh yeah, there's a few more. We gotta take the back tires off too. We gotta take off all the brake stuff too. That's annoying. I was hoping we'd get away with leaving those on. But it's alright. We need the rear knuckle housing C. Looks like all the leaf spring stuff we're going to have to replace. Not this bushing. Yeah, the rubber bushing there we need. Solid axle control arm. It only looks like we need the springs for these sides. And take off that muffler too. See what we need over here. We need the same. We don't need the knuckle. Everything else we'll need duplicates of. So let's make one big part list. Rear muffler. There it is. I'm blind today. So now we need the rear knuckle. Housing C, we need just one of those. We need 2 more springs. These are the rear springs. And yeah, we actually need 2 plates. We need 4 U-bolts. Let us grab 2 of the arms. We already have bushings. And I think that's it. Get this tire off too. At least we don't have to take that brake off. We also can't forget to put oil in this when we're done, or else they won't be getting too far. Oh, that leaf plate was fine. So we don't need to replace that one. Oh, we didn't need to take the tire off either. You look at that. Ah, that's what we forgot. We forgot the shock absorbers. 2 of those. Yeah, I don't know how you'd actually do these repairs without taking the tire off. I suppose you could get around it, but I feel like that'd be a nightmare. Get the U-bolts on, pushing back on, and then the tire. These we need to replace. Those were all bad. Jump over to the other side. And get that muffler on. The spring. Cruising right along here. All this work, this order is going to be a nice payout at the end of the day. Normally, money doesn't make a big deal in this game. You always have what you need for the parts. But it's going to be nice to have a nice cushion, so when we unlock that new garage, we can start buying some parts real quick. Oh, both mufflers. Were both mufflers bad? I guess we needed 2 of those. Well, that's simple enough. Alright, so that's back in. Get the brakes back together. Caliper back on. We'll finish off with the tire. That should be it for these repairs. Go ahead and take a look at the car status. Anything we're missing? We got everything on the list there. We do need to replace some of the front end body parts. Actually, we've got a list here, but we need the front bumper, the left headlight, the left fender, and a front license plate. Let's go over, let's get that license plate. I don't know about you guys, I often don't go to the mechanic shop to get license plate, but apparently that's a thing in this game. Jump over to the body shop, and this was the Grand Olson. We need a front bumper, left headlight, need the left fender. I think that's it. Get those put on, come over to body assembly mode. There's the front end. And this is how you can see that we need the paint shop, because these are just going to be the standard gray color. Normally you'd be able to take those over and get those individually painted, but not until we have that unlocked. And actually, before we finish, can't forget the oil. Car would not be going anywhere. I think we should be done. Take a look. Ooh, $15,000 repair. That is great for us. That is not too great for the driver. I wouldn't be taking this car back out after that. But perhaps we'll see it again. And hopefully we'll see you again. Thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates to future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch as I try to stream 3 days a week. I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.